These days, everybody's chasing micro-compacts. The SIG P365, the Springfield Hellcat, even the Glock 43, they've taken over the polymer carry world like a tidal wave. Slim frames, double-stack mags, optics-ready slides, and yeah, they've earned their place. But while the spotlight's on striker-fired plastic, there's another breed that refuses to die quietly. The snub-nose revolver. Not only is it still around, it's getting smarter, tougher, and meaner than ever. Short barrels, slick triggers, and rugged builds that just don't jam under pressure. So if you think revolvers are dead, think again. Today, we're counting down the top 10 snub-nose revolvers to carry in 2025. Hand-picked for shooters who value simplicity, reliability, and raw mechanical grit over trends and tactics. From featherweight 5-shots to 6-round magnums with space-age internals, this list's got it all. Number 10, the Ruger SP101. This one always sparks debate. Some folks swear by it. Others, they've never even seen a box of 327 Federal on a store shelf. But here's the thing. The Ruger SP101 in 327 Federal Magnum might just be one of the most underrated snubs on the market today. Built like a tank, this wheel gun brings 6-round capacity to a frame size normally limited to 5. That's one extra shot of hot Magnum-class punch, tucked into a stainless steel body that feels solid without being bulky. Overall length is about 7.2 inches, with a 2 1/4 inch barrel, and it weighs 27 ounces, heavy enough to tame recoil, light enough for belt or coat pocket carry. Now, 327 Federal isn't exactly mainstream, but performance-wise, it's no slouch, pushing 95 to 115 grain projectiles past 1,400 feet per second from a snub barrel. That's serious heat in a compact package. And because it's a Ruger, you get rock-solid lockup, a transfer bar safety, and a trigger that smooths out beautifully after a few hundred dry-fire reps. Is ammo availability a concern? Sure. But for the shooter who wants 6 shots of true Magnum-class power in a compact frame and isn't afraid to be different, the Ruger SP101 in 327 Federal Magnum earns its spot. Number 9, Heritage Roscoe. If you think every modern snub nose has to be polymer-framed, Cerakoted, and optics-ready, you clearly haven't spent a single afternoon on the range with the Heritage Roscoe. This one throws it way back. A 6.5-inch profile, deep polished black steel, and old-school varnished wood grips that look like they just stepped out of a 1940s noir flick. But don't let the vintage vibes fool you. Under that slick exterior is brand-new lockwork and a tight cylinder gap that keeps everything running tight. Weighing in at 22 ounces, the Roscoe has just enough heft to feel solid without dragging your belt down. Drop it in a pocket holster, and it'll ride there all day without printing. It's chambered for 38 special and rated for +P, feeding a 5-shot cylinder that balances size and punch beautifully. And the 2-inch barrel keeps the whole package ankle holster friendly. Now, here's where it really wins over new owners. The trigger. Factory double-action stacks, predictably at around 10 pounds, breaks clean, resets with a crisp snap, and avoids that gritty feel you usually get in revolvers under $360. Sights are basic, fixed ramp up front, groove out back, but a little paint on the front blade makes them fast to pick up. Point of impact holds true across a wide range, from 110 grain frangibles all the way up to 158 grain lead semi-wad cutters. So yeah, the Heritage Roscoe may look like it belongs in a trench coat, but it shoots like it belongs on this list. Dependable, affordable, and retro in all the right ways. This is your budget snub with real street cred. Number 8, Charter Arms Double Dog. Now, here's a wheel gun that actually earns its name, because this thing's got more personalities than most shooters have holsters. The Double Dog rolls out of the box with not 1, but 2 cylinders. One's chambered for 357 Magnum and 38 Special, the other's for 9mm. And here's the kicker. That 9mm ejects clean, no moon clips needed, thanks to a clever dual-coil extractor built into the design. The frame's cut from stainless steel, and the whole package stays compact, just under 6 3/4 inches long, a hair over 4 inches tall, and right around 22 ounces. In other words, well inside that everyday carry sweet spot. Swapping calibers takes about 30 seconds flat. Pop the crane pin, slide out the cylinder, drop in the second one, close the frame, and you're live. Seasoned shooters in defensive classes have done the switch during a single podcast ad break. Out of the box, the trigger settles in at about 9 pounds double action, 3 pounds single, with a smooth, rolling stroke, no stack, no hiccups. Yeah, it's a 5-shooter. But here's why that doesn't matter. You can practice all day with cheap 9mm and still load it up with full-house magnums when it's go time. That keeps your training affordable without sacrificing stopping power. Range testing proves the concept. The Double Dog ran steel-cased 9mm, soft wad cutters, and even 158-grain magnums without breaking a sweat. Recoil with hot magnums? Snappy, but manageable. The grip angle drives recoil straight back instead of flipping the muzzle. It's finished in a no-nonsense matte coat that shrugs off holster wear, which makes sense. This isn't a safe queen. This is a working gun. And with street prices under $650, you've got room left for a few moon clips, a speed loader, and maybe even some slim boot grips. Modular, reliable, underappreciated. The Double Dog isn't just clever. It's carry-ready, caliber-flexible, and absolutely belongs in the top 10. Number 7. Kimber K6XS. When Kimber first jumped into the revolver game, plenty of folks rolled their eyes. A 1911 company making wheel guns? Yeah, right. But then came the K6XS, and it shut everybody up. Kimber stripped down their original stainless K6 design, tossed the dead weight, and rebuilt it around a forged aluminum frame that tips the scale at just 15.9 ounces. That's featherweight territory. Even so, the cylinder still holds 6 rounds of .38 Special Plus P. No compromises. Size-wise, it's compact across the board. 6.8 inches long, 5.5 inches tall, 1.4 inches wide. It disappears under a t-shirt, especially if you're running appendix. The double action only trigger? This is where Kimber flexes. It rolls smooth up front, firms up just before the break, then snaps at around 9 pounds. No grit, no stack. Just clean, mechanical precision. The Hogue rubber grips melt into your palm without adding any tail, making it easier to conceal deep. Up front, the sight post is pinned. Rear sights milled. Both are matte to kill glare, and if you want to swap in a night sight, it takes all of 5 minutes. Now, lightweight snubs usually beat up your hand, but the K6XS handles recoil better than you'd expect. Kimber's camming bolt seats the round deeper, shortens the bullet jump, and cuts down on muzzle rise. A properly cut forcing cone keeps that blast going forward, not sideways. Accuracy? At 10 yards, controlled pairs stack into 3-inch groups. That's more than enough for defensive work and speed drills. Price tag lands around $680, putting it right between budget snubs and titanium unicorns. But in terms of fit, finish, and trigger quality, the K6XS punches way above its weight class. If you're looking for a true 6-shot carry revolver that won't print, won't rattle, and won't wreck your hand, the Kimber K6XS just makes sense. Number 6. Smith & Wesson Ultimate Carry J-Frame. Now this one's a modern take on a classic silhouette, and it's exactly what happens when a century-old revolver gets dragged into the 2025 carry world. The Ultimate Carry J-Frame combines an airweight aluminum frame with a stainless steel barrel and cylinder, keeping the overall length at just 6.31 inches, and the height a clean 4.3 inches. Translation? It disappears under an untucked polo, or rides ankle-deep without ever printing or snagging. And here's where things get interesting. You've got options. Buyers can choose between a 5-shot, .38 Special Plus P cylinder, or a 6-shot, .32 H&R Magnum version. That extra round, paired with lighter recoil, makes the .32 an excellent pick for recoil-sensitive shooters who still want speed and control. Sight picture is dialed in. You get an XS tritium front blade, ringed in white, and a serrated U-notch rear that gives you a clear, fast reference even in low light. The grips are VZG-10 panels, either in black cherry or gray. They lock into your hand without adding bulk. No slip, no snag. Now, a lot of factory J-frames come out with triggers that feel like gravel roads. But this one leaves the factory with a 9-pound double-action pull, already polished smooth, and just a few nights of dry fire while binge-watching Netflix will take it from good to butter. In testing, the .32 H&R Magnum version pushed 85 grain hollow points to 1,100 feet per second, punching through denim-covered gel blocks with no problem, and staying perfectly controllable for rapid double taps. Price lands somewhere in the $700 range, but for that, you get premium machining, night sights, modern grips, and a revolver that runs like a sealed vault. If you're looking for a featherweight carry gun with modern sights, smart caliber choices, and zero nonsense, the ultimate carry J-frames got your back. Number 5. Chiapa Rhino 200DS. This one doesn't just break the rules, it rewrites the manual. The Chiapa Rhino 200DS flips the script by aligning the barrel with the bottom chamber instead of the top. That means recoil drives straight into your forearm, not up over the top like a traditional snub. And while your buddies might chuckle at the hexagonal cylinder and sci-fi lines, they'll stop laughing once they see the muzzle stay dead flat through a string of hot .357 Magnum. Specs-wise, it sits right in the middle ground, 6.5 inches long, under 5 inches tall, just 1.44 inches wide, and weighing in at 25 ounces. Not quite a pocket gun, not quite a full size. Just right. But here's the wild part. 6 rounds of full-pressure .357 Magnum in a frame that normally only gives you 5. That's 1 extra shot of Magnum muscle when it counts most. You get fiber optic sights up front, an adjustable rear, and a cocking lever that folds flush after single-action fire to keep your draw smooth. Double-action mode? You'll feel a light roll, then a break at 8 pounds. Single-action drops to around 4 pounds, crisp and predictable. Perfect for deliberate shots at 15 yards. And the chrono backs it up. Only about a 60 feet per second drop in velocity compared to a traditional 3-inch K-frame. Tight gas seals and a short forcing cone keep speed and accuracy alive. At the range, you can print sub-3-inch groups at 15 yards, and the flat-shooting bore axis keeps your sights right where they need to be, even under a timer. Chiapa's MSRP flirts with $1,100, but street prices often dip just under $1,000. For shooters willing to ditch tradition and embrace bold engineering to tame Magnum recoil, the Rhino 200DS is Blade Runner meets gunfighter, and it works. Number 4. Kimber K6S. When Kimber dropped the K6S, they didn't just enter the snub game, they changed it. This revolver rewrote the playbook for 6-shot Magnum snubs the day it launched, and it's still riding near the top of the hill. Sized just right, the K6S runs 6.62 inches long, 1.39 inches wide, and weighs 23 ounces. That's enough mass to soak up recoil without printing under a shirt. It's built from the ground up with 416 stainless steel, frame, barrel, and cylinder, all finished in brushed satin that shrugs off fingerprints and slides out of leather like glass. So how'd Kimber cram 6 rounds into a frame where 5 used to live? Simple. They moved the bolt cuts between the chambers and shaved steel everywhere except where it locks up. The result? Bank vault tight lockup, with end shake still measuring just 1/1000th of an inch after 1,500 mixed rounds. The double-action-only trigger breaks clean at 6.5 pounds, with 0 stack. Just a smooth, predictable pull that encourages fast, accurate follow-ups. Up front, Kimber gives you a dovetailed front post with serrations to kill glare, and the rear trench is angled forward to draw your eye right to the blade. Both sights can be swapped for night versions. No milling needed. Reliability? It just runs. We're talking 125-grain screamers, 158-grain soft points. The K6S lit 'em all off clean, and those polished charge holes let empties drop out like they were on ball bearings. Street price? You're looking at around $850 to $900. But for that, you're getting 6 shots of Magnum in a J-frame footprint, with the build quality to match a K-frame. If you want Magnum power, carry-ready size, and a trigger that'll ruin you for anything else, the Kimber K6S is a must-own. Number 3. Smith & Wesson M&P 340. Once you shoot a scandium-framed revolver, every aluminum snub suddenly feels like a brick. The M&P 340 weighs just 13.8 ounces, and yet it still handles full-house .357 Magnum loads, thanks to an internal stainless steel shield that protects the top strap from all that high-pressure blast. With an overall length of 6.31 inches and an enclosed hammer design, this thing disappears into a pocket holster, ankle rig, or even gym shorts without printing, snagging, or slowing you down. Now let's be honest. Magnum recoil in something this light? It's snappy. No denying that. That's why most folks train with 38 plus P, then carry Magnums for real-world use. But even with full-power loads, the boot-style rubber grip helps soak up some of the sting. And because there's barely any mass sitting above the bore, muzzle flip is minimal. The gun snaps right back on target. Up front, you get a tritium night sight, surrounded by a white ring for daytime visibility. In back, a milled U-notch rear keeps your sight alignment honest. One major upgrade? Smith & Wesson finally removed the internal key lock that used to frustrate purists. So now, there's nothing mechanical standing between you and that trigger pull. Speaking of which, the double-action pull clocks in around 11 pounds from the factory, but smooths out nicely after a weekend of dry fire. As for reliability, this thing's rock solid. No end-shake growth, no sticky ejections, just a snub that works every time. Real-world price floats around $900. Steep for such a small piece of metal. But when you're talking about ultra-lightweight, magnum performance, and absolute concealability, the M&P 340 stands alone. This one's not built for comfort. It's built for trust. Number 2. Diamondback SDR. This one's for the 9mm crowd. And Diamondback finally gave them what they've been waiting for. The 2024 SDR delivers a true stainless steel snub nose that carries like an airweight, but reloads faster than anything else in the wheelgun world. Everything, the frame, the barrel, the cylinder, is forged and polished stainless. Total weight? Just 21.2 ounces. And with compact dimensions, 6.53 inches long, 4.44 tall, and 1.38 wide, this thing drops into any EDC holster with ease. Inside, you've got 6 rounds of 9mm plus P, housed in a chamfered cylinder released by a thumb button that'll feel instantly familiar if you've ever run a 1911. Even better? The gun ships with TK custom moon clips, and they work. I've personally beat reload times on a Smith Model 940 by almost half a second. From its 2-inch barrel, 124 grain plus P hollow points clock velocities that rival 38 plus P out of longer tubes. Sights are exactly what you need. Fiber optic orange up front, green in the rear, and both glow clean under range lights or daylight. No snag, no fuss. Trigger-wise, double-action pull sits between 9 and 11.5 pounds, smooth with zero stacking. Single-action brakes at a clean 2 pounds, glass-like and confidence-inspiring. Diamondback's transfer bar system keeps lockup solid, and the polish work is tight. This thing runs slick. I put 400 mixed rounds through my test gun. Centered primer strikes, smooth ejection, and zero flame cutting on the forcing cone. MSRP is around $821, but for that, you're getting full stainless durability, 6-shot capacity, service pistol ballistics, and lightning-fast reloads, all wrapped in a revolver made for modern carry. If you trust 9mm but still believe in wheelgun simplicity, the Diamondback SDR might just be your new go-to. Number 1. Taurus 856 Defender TORO. Yup, this one's gonna trigger some purists, and that's exactly why it earns the top spot. The Taurus 856 Defender TORO is the first factory snub-nose revolver to come optic-ready. That's right, this wheelgun lets you mount a red dot straight from the box. It's built around Taurus's Defender series with a 3-inch barrel, 6-shot cylinder, and full 38 Special Plus P capability. But the real magic is the optic cut, machined right into the top strap to accept micro red dots like the Shield RMSC footprint. That means faster target acquisition, tighter groups under stress, and true carry optics capability in a revolver. Dimensions are still carry-friendly. 1.41 inches wide, stainless steel or matte black finish, and the same smooth trigger system Taurus has been quietly refining for years. Performance? With 125 grain plus P loads, the Defender pushes around 1,000 feet per second from that 3-inch barrel, and the red dot makes follow-up shots lightning quick. Now sure, some folks will scoff. Who needs a red dot on a snubby? But try running split times with irons versus an RMSC at 7 yards, and tell me which one puts rounds on target faster. Price? MSRP sits at just $470, well under most competitors, and that's with optic capability built in. For shooters ready to blend revolver reliability with modern sighting tech, the Taurus 856 Defender TORO is the boldest leap forward in carry snubs this decade. And that wraps up our countdown of the top 10 snub-nose revolvers for 2025. Some are classics reborn, some are bold experiments, and a few, well, they're gonna start arguments. That's how you know the list is good. Now the question is, which one would you trust on your belt? Or did we miss a sleeper wheel gun that should have made the cut? Let us know down in the comments. We read every single one. And if you got something out of this video, do me a favor. Hit that like button share it with your range crew, and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you tap the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. We've got more deep dive gun content headed your way real soon. This is Firearms Zone, where every shot counts and every review's built for people who actually shoot. Thanks for watching. Stay sharp, stay safe, and we'll see you on the range.